the Auburn Blitz Podcast, your direct source for all Auburn all the time with Brett Pritchard, Faith Richardson, and Randy Lee.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Blitz Podcast here on a Thursday morning. We're glad that you join us each and every day, wherever and whenever it is that you join us, and make an Auburn Blitz part of your daily Auburn athletic intake. It's Brett and Randy here on a Thursday morning, and we are a day away from the 2025 college football season for the Auburn Tigers. They'll travel out today to Waco, Texas to take on the Baylor Bears. A lot to prove. And what I mean by that is on multiple levels. Lots to prove for this Auburn football team, but you break it down by levels, and that's what we'll do this morning. We got some fast facts that we'll throw at everybody since it's football season. We have a high school football game tonight, which is going to be really big. It's the statewide game of the week here in Alexander City between two really good programs. We'll talk a tad a bit about that. This is an Auburn program, so we're going to stick to Auburn, but it's football, man. It's here. And, boy, you'll blink. Like, we're in week 2 of high school season already. I told somebody that yesterday. I'm like, we're already about to be in the second game's about to be over. Like, you wait for it to get here, and then you look up and you go, okay, 20% of the season's gone already. So it's crazy, man. It goes by fast.
Well, you and I are fortunate to work with AHSA and have the rights to the AHSA radio network. And as we're sitting here, I'm getting notifications popping up on the top of my phone across from me on Players of the Week and parents and administrations and coaches that would like to get those superlatives into us. And how do you do that? And congratulations to those that we're naming, Brett. So, man, I love this time of year. It's not only football. It's volleyball that's going on. The fastest growing sport in the state of Alabama is flag football for our girls. And I love the sport. You know, I'm coaching my daughter in flag football. We've done our boys in Ellick City 3 different years with that. So it's a wonderful sport, especially with 7-on-7 growing and the importance of 7-on-7 with our tackle football. So I can't say enough good things. But, yeah, we do have a big game tonight. First home game, big-time state audience. Got a new Jumbotron that I know way too much about. Now, I haven't wired a single thing up, or I haven't put a single thing up, but all of the heartache concerned with getting that board up and ready and video work and all of the content that'll be scrolled across it tonight. Big night in Ellick City. I think the game's already sold out, Brett. Is that what I heard?
I think so. Yep.
Yeah. We
yep.
actually
no shock there.
I've had a number of texts already from parents that haven't quite gotten their kids their tickets yet. How do they do that? I'm like, look, unfortunately, and I'm not. Well, let's try to reword what I'm saying, because Brett and I've talked a lot before this show. I guess fortunately I am involved in a lot more than I would choose to be, but I can't get your kids tickets tonight to this ball game.
Hey, I got 2 for a really good price, about $150 a piece. If you want them, just
for
give
a
me
high school football game. And
last
week in Opelika, I haven't seen a high school crowd like I saw in Opelika and Benjamin Russell last week in a long time, Brett. When's the last time you saw that big of a crowd on both sides in a big stadium? Now, I'm not talking about a smaller stadium where we always travel, and we got a good ball club. Ellick City's going to travel. So we've seen some good crowds, but that's a big stadium to fill up on the opposite side. And Opelika was packed in there, and we were standing room only on our side. I'm guessing 8,000 to 10,000 people at that ball game. Be your guess. I mean, what a great gate. What a great deal.
Yeah, no kidding. Going to be another one tonight.
Yeah, so back to you.
Yeah, well, you know, again, high school football is king, but thank goodness we're playing tonight, because Auburn plays tomorrow night. And I didn't want to be trying to figure out how to call a game and watching Auburn play at the same time. So we worked a little magic in these parts like we try to do. And the game of the week is look, this, if you had to pick a game, you picked a great one anyway. It didn't matter Like Ben Russell, Central Clay County, they've scored the exact same amount of points in 11 matchups, 267 apiece. So I don't know if you can get more even than that. And they won 6 and we won 5. So
they've won 5 of the last 6.
They have won. Yep.
Hey, so there's one dynamic going on here. There's a common denominator that I think everyone's that's listening in that knows high school football in our area. And we'd like for it not to be this way, being that we're at Benjamin Russell now and Danny's not. But where Danny's been, they've won a lot more than the other side has, Brett. And you can't deny that, can you?
No, you can't. So I hate it to say this, but I don't. Hope he don't win tonight. So and I'll leave it at that. So anyway, let's move into Auburn. A lot to prove for the Auburn Tigers again tomorrow night. They did finally figure out the dispute between YouTube TV and, well, it's a temporary fix. That way nobody misses the game. They've still got stuff to work on. But it seems like all these TV providers and all, a couple of years ago or last year, I can't remember, it was Spectrum and ESPN and Disney. They couldn't get it together, and everybody missed the Florida-Utah game, and everybody was pissed off and all that. Now, that changed people from Spectrum to YouTube TV. Now YouTube TV's in a squabble with all the Fox network. And if they can't get it figured out, people will be going to Hulu or Fubo or wherever the hell they need to go. I mean, we're just bouncing all over the place because all these TV providers and streaming providers can't all get on the same page with the networks. But regardless of that, you'll still be able to watch Auburn Baylor wherever it is. We're excited about going out to the game, so we're going to be doing some stuff pre-game, live before the game, going to kind of catch up and see how many Auburn fans are out there. I don't have a feel for how many Auburn fans are traveling right now on a Friday. I think there'll be a great crowd out there. The stadium only seats 45,000 people. So we're going to drift around. Faith and I are going to drift around the crowd and do some live videos with some Auburn
great.
fans.
I love that idea. Some of these things, y'all, I would like to act like I'm Brett's business partner that discusses a lot of these, but I didn't have a single conversation with him yesterday, and I'm sure that was a good day for him. And I'm not necessarily saying it was a bad day for me, but I haven't heard this one yet. I like it, especially, if you're going out to Waco and it's important enough to you to go and travel, like we've got a lot of great Auburn fans that, getting their perspective on the season and talking with them about their expectations before the games start each week.
Right.
That's a great angle that I don't see enough of, man. And I consider myself a fan. Brett's more of a beat guy now, so he knows way more than I would even give him credit for knowing in years past. He just hasn't had the time with a separate job to keep up with it outside of the conversations with friends of ours that are beat guys. And so we would have some inside knowledge, but I'm a fan, man. I'm solely a football fan, and a massive Auburn fan, and I try to bring that angle to it. But I don't know any more than most of those people that you're going to talk to out there. And so I'll be tuning into that, Brett. Y'all do a lot of that, please.
Yeah, we plan on it. Get out there, get a feel. Obviously when you travel around, you got to find some great food. You got to have some great, and in Texas, there's some dang good barbecue. And so we talked to Taylor Bryan, who's the new SID at Auburn for football the other day. And I said, look, Taylor, you were just at Baylor. And he was just at Baylor working in athletics. I said, all right, well, tell us where we need to go. And he gave us a list of places. He said, of course, you ain't gonna be able to hit all these, but he's like, here's the ones that you need to go to. So we're gonna kind of provide some fun stuff there as well. But yeah, we're gonna try to make this a complete trip, and then just kind of while we're talking about it, we'll be in the game.
Same as on the road, real quick before you run away from that. Same as on the road. I mean,
yes.
You do a little taste of the town setup.
Yes,
oh, good.
Yes, that's what we're gonna try to do. So yeah, looking forward to doing that and trying to make it a complete deal. So obviously during the game, we're not able to stream from in there. Not able to do any of that from the sideline. I'm sure we'll divide and conquer. Faith will be on one side of the field and I'll be on the other. And we'll be getting perspectives on that. And then the press conference after will be in that. And then as soon as we get out of that, we're going to find a place that we're going to be able to have our post-game show. And we appreciate Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine for being our partner on that and allowing us to bring everybody a post-game reaction show like we started the Kentucky game last year. Randy, if you'll remember, it was a tremendous success. You know, we didn't have a lot of wins to talk about. We picked a good game to start it, Kentucky, and we had a lot of positive things to talk about. But then I think our biggest post-game reaction show was Vanderbilt when Andy and I were doing it, and he was on the transit, and there were like 800 people behind him crammed in there watching it, and I was pissed, and he was pissed, and I was a little bit loud. Of course, I don't know about he's surprised by that. So Andy couldn't really cut the volume down, and everybody was like, who is this guy up here in the front of the bus hollering? And it's like, oh, he's on the phone. And I'm like, what is going on up here? So we did have a lot of people tune into that. Of course, it was after a loss. I'm hoping that we don't have a lot of those this year. Hopefully we've lost so much in the last 4 years that when we win a big game, we'll have just as many people that will want to tune in after a big win. So we'll find that. So we'll figure all that out. But yeah, just tune us in and make sure you hit the subscribe button for our YouTube channel so you'll get a notification when we go live and you're able to see all that because there's going to be a lot going on, obviously, tomorrow, and people are going to be distracted and all that. And, you know, after the game, after a big win, or if we lose, you know, you might get caught up doing something else. If you get that notification, it'll remind you to tune in. So we want you to do that. A lot to prove, Randy, here for Auburn. And first of all, for Auburn football as a program, because like we just said, 4 straight years of a losing season, we have not witnessed that in our lifetime. And I don't know that we've ever seen a game one that's more important, more crucial for the psyche of fans and a team and a program than this game here. Look, I can go back and pick out big openers, but we've never been in this position in our lifetime where we're like, okay, you're playing a formidable opponent in a true road environment, not a neutral site, but a true road environment. And you got to go out there and find a way to dadgum win the game, man, period.
Well, you know, the only time in my life that I can really go back to and say, have we taken this massive a step backwards and can we get it back in positive direction was the Rudy Johnson first game at Auburn.
Yes.
You know, I really believe, you know, as a student at Auburn, I was thinking, you know, we're pretty mediocre. We've had a couple of positive things go our direction, but, you know, that Wyoming game with Rudy Johnson's coming out party.
Hey, trivia question for you real quick. Okay. What else happened in that Wyoming game?
You'll have to help me.
That's the first time the Eagle flew.
Okay, I didn't realize.
And the Eagle flew from the goalpost to midfield, like literally, and everybody thought that was the coolest thing in the world. I don't know, I don't know if the Eagle was up on the goalpost and flew to the 50-yard line, or somebody was. I'm pretty sure somebody was holding the Eagle, but it was like sure, and then the Eagle landed, and it was like, man, that's the coolest freaking thing we've ever seen. Now look at what the Eagle does. So. Sorry, I had to throw that little bit of trivia.
No, I'm glad you did. And, you know, but that was a few years there where Auburn just wasn't up to the level that, I mean, Brett and I are 80s kids. You got to understand, we may not have won all of our games in the 80s, but from 82 on, I thought we were going to win the national championship every single year. And every single time we went out on the field, I thought we had the best team. And I haven't thought that the last few years. Now, here's the dynamic with this team that separates me from the last few years. I really feel like we're very talented. And I really feel like our ceiling is exceptionally high. And I know I'm not just drinking the orange and blue Kool-Aid, which I normally drink this time of year. And Brett's the best in the world at it. I've been giving him grief about this. I mean, when we get to game day, he's going to be bound and determined, even in those bad years, that there could be a national championship on the horizon until that first negative Bog offense pops out there on the field and doesn't go our way. But
take long for it to go away.
No, when it goes away for Brett, it is a fleeting moment in time that you can't grab back. And Justin, if you're listening out there, you've been there with Brett a couple of times where that moment just escaped him. But I've just got so much positive energy around this team right now. Now, is there a lot of question marks? Of course. But I think it's a well put together team. I really do. I mean, we've had a couple of off field situations, but for the most part, I think Hugh Freeze and this staff's kept this team clean. And I like when Mike's go in front of them, who's talking. You saw the captains get named yesterday. I thought
Mhm.
the decision on the ones that they chose, I thought were,
Awesome.
hey, I tip my hat to them. I think the players realize when you say a Champ Anthony who's worked so
Man,
extremely hard to
right.
get back and give himself a chance, and they picked that guy who may not be considered one of the best players on the team. But when you pick a captain not based solely on performance, but based off of effort and based off of leadership qualities,
Well,
then
they
you,
watched him, Randy,
yeah,
how passionate it is for him to get back to the part he to
love
play
it.
for you.
Love it when you get to go strike a ballot for captain. I'm talking to Coach Jay at Benjamin Russell. You know, there's some things that you're proud of in this life, but if you were chosen a captain as one of your teams, I mean, you
Pretty
could have
big.
been the best player and you could have been an all-state player, but for your teammates to pick you as 2, 3, or 4 captains, now it's 4 for Auburn, and you're chosen by your teammates to be that man, there can't be many things in life that's much better than that. So
What an honor. What an
I
honor.
liked all of those captains that were chosen yesterday, but I've got a lot of positive feelings about this team. We just got to find our way offensively and hope and pray that Jackson Arnold has an outstanding year, because I really think that his ceiling's exceptionally high. He's a perfect fit for a Hugh Freeze offense that we've seen in the past
Yep.
when he's been really good with it at Ole Miss and Liberty. So hey, I'm not going to say anything negative today about that until they give me a reason to after week 1. And if we play good on the offensive side of the ball, I feel great about this season. I'll
Yeah, I
leave
do
it at
too.
that.
I do too. You know, Hugh Freeze. I'm going down the list here. Hugh Freeze, a lot to prove. Year 3, like you just said, you can go through and see what he's been able to do at other schools as a head football coach. You can look at what he is in season openers in 12 seasons. He's 9-3. When you look at him under year 3 at Ole Miss, in year 3 he went 9-4. At Liberty, he went 8-5. That ain't good enough at Auburn this year. The Liberty one isn't. The Ole Miss, if you go 9-4, yeah, okay. With this team and the schedule and some of the teams, yeah, I think 9 wins, you're definitely fine there. But when you look at, I'm looking at more the 6 to 7 win mark with this talent on this team and this schedule. This schedule is only going to get tougher next year for this program. Everybody needs to go ahead and brace themselves. We don't know who it is yet, but there's a good possibility Texas gets back on this schedule. I know they're going to the 9-game schedule. We don't know who the third permanent opponent's going to be yet. It doesn't need to be anybody less than Missouri, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, or somebody. For Auburn needs that, because we do. You say this all the time. Auburn's got the toughest road of anybody in this conference when you got to play Georgia and Alabama every year, period.
Well,
Nobody else has a tougher road.
And if you're going to pick a year to play Georgia and Alabama and get them at home, it's this year.
Yes.
Because look, both of those teams can win a national championship. They're that talented. They're recruiting every single year in the top 3. I hate both of them, but I'm willing as an Auburn fan to concede that. But if you've got a year to choose, and you choose a year where you're not 110% positive the quarterback that they're going out there to be led by is an all-conference player and an all-American, then you take your chances on those years. And I've watched enough of Gunnar Stockton to know that I don't think he's a world beater.
No.
Now, he may end up being the best player in the conference, and Georgia's done that in past. I've said that about Stetson Bennett, and
nobody thought Stetson Bennett was going to do what he did.
So it can happen. We hope Jackson Arnold's our Stetson Bennett this year, where
No
you
doubt.
don't know what you're going to get. But so my point is, though, they're still question marks there. And, of course, at Alabama, I mean, they've got a new quarterback. Still a new coach coming into his second year. Still question marks on the offensive side of the ball, whether they're going to be able to run the ball as consistently as they once did. And you get both of those teams at home. So you better take advantage of this. And I don't think that we're separated by much talent-wise.
I don't either.
Here's a constant conversation Brett and I have had this time of year for the last probably 12 to 15 years. And I'm going to ask you this right now, Brett. If you were Alabama's coaching staff, and I'm talking on every position,
sure.
How many of Auburn's players do you think Alabama would take? You know, and
Pretty good
let me say
number.
before he speaks up, we've had years past where Brett's answer on this was maybe one or two, where we thought our guy, Tank Bigsby was one of them, where we thought our guy not necessarily was better than the one that they had, but was at least equal and
Right.
deserved snaps. So you look at Auburn on both sides of the ball, and I would be willing to say that at a minimum, 3 to 5 of the players on both sides of the ball that we've got that we're carting out there are as good, if not better, than the ones that you're going to see for Alabama this year. Man, that's a massive increase from just a couple of years ago. And the credit needs to go to Hugh Freeze and the staff for putting that squad together.
You know, I think, again, I'm going to take my orange and blue glasses off and just be realistic here. I think there's quite a few that Georgia and Alabama would take because they wanted them when they recruited them. I mean, that's the place to start. And DeMarcus Riddick, Keldrick Faulk, I can go down the list. Connor Lew, obviously Cam Coleman, Malcolm Simmons. I can keep going. I mean, you can probably, and I didn't get to the secondary players. I mean, I didn't get to any of those guys. I mean, I didn't get to New Boy and Eric Winters and the new guys coming in. A lot. So I think that right there says all we need to know as far. And I think, Randy, if I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but on the blue chip ratio listing, Auburn's 8th in the country. That means they have the 8th most 4- and 5-star players on their roster. And of course, Ohio State, Texas, Alabama, Georgia are going to be 4 above them. Probably LSU. Probably, I don't know. But I've named 5 or 6 there. So there's only 2 more that could be in front of us. So Auburn's in the grouping with all these teams. Yeah.
Texas, maybe Texas.
I said them. I think I said them first. I mean, Texas, Georgia, Alabama for sure, and LSU I think are up there. So, but you're right there. Like, look at all these other schools and what they've accomplished, and then look at the outlier of Auburn. We haven't accomplished that. We finally are comparable roster-wise. Does that equal wins? It does not. We'll see how it all kind of plays out. But from a standpoint of having a roster, and all 3 of us have talked about this till we're blue in the face, we finally feel confident that we have a roster that can go compete, and Hugh Freeze said it. He said it at media days. Now, he corrected himself pretty quickly from the golf course interview he had that day when he came off, and he said, yeah, I know what the goal is here at Auburn, to go to a bowl game. And everybody went, what? Do what? Like, no, this guy really doesn't get it. And he caught so much hell for that. He quickly said, look, okay, yeah, I didn't mean it that way. I know what the expectations are. I'm just saying that we haven't been to a bowl game. We got to go. He kind of walked himself back on that, but he found out real quick, getting to a dang bowl game ain't what we're looking for here.
Well, let me get my last comment in. Glad to see Faith showing up here this morning, and I'll be tuning into y'all. But a lot to prove, and you ask Hugh Freeze, and there is a massive amount to prove. I mean, Auburn, when you've got this amount of talent and you're going on the road to Baylor and all the pundits and the line is maybe a point or 2, either way, I think it's in Auburn's favor now, but
2.5.
It doesn't matter which one or the other. That means that you expect the game to be close, and a lot of the games that are close are won by coaching. And Auburn had some questionable coaching last year in the late moments of ball games. We didn't run the ball as much as we would like to have made decisions, especially in the red zone, to run the football, even though you had an all-SEC back in Jarquez Hunter. So you asked me, is there a lot to prove? I think there's just as much to prove in the actual game day coaching for Auburn fans. And I think Auburn fans are watching that. And Hugh Freeze has been a winner. Wherever he's been a winner. I mean, he didn't forget how to coach. I mean, Auburn didn't go hire him because he hasn't won a lot of football games. So,
right.
I mean, we went out and hired Gene Chizik when he hadn't won a lot of football games as head coach. But we didn't go out and hire Hugh Freeze based off of a poor resume. I mean, this guy's won wherever he's been. So a lot of Auburn fans not only want to see progress on the field from the players, but they want to see a schematic progress, especially on the offensive side of the ball. with this team. So I'll be watching that, but I'll also be tuning into y'all, and I'll quickly get a little plug in on where I'm about to head off to. But we got a new office over in Auburn that we've been talking about a few months. By the way, Brett Faith, I need a billboard to throw up on our new digital billboard over there,
Yes.
Lee Apparel and Sign Source, so we can promote Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine and y'all's post-game reaction show. If you get me that over, I'll get it up there. I'm prodding y'all a little bit here on air. But it's 1850 Opelika Road. Got a lot of foot traffic coming in and out of there now, but if you need screen printed products, promotional products, Lee Apparel can help. And signage from start to finish, from design. We are vertically integrated. By the way, there's your little term that I've been working with my son
There you go. There you go.
this morning. We can do your art, print your sign, fabricate your sign, and then put your sign up. Start to finish on any kind of signage project. We can handle that with Sign Source, and then right down the road at Sign Essentials, which is part of our grouping as well. So 256-825-0197. I'll be tuning into y'all.
See you, brother.
Really.
All right. And while we're at it, we might as well go ahead and talk about Cincy-Green.
Cincy-Green. For air that's cool and clean, call on Cincy-Green. They are the carrier experts in the state of Alabama, proud supporters of Auburn Athletics, and a proud supporter of the Auburn Blitz podcast. It is so warm outside, and, it's just a little taste of fall we have right now, but it's not going to last long. So you want to get a carrier unit installed by Cincy-Green because they'll save you thousands of dollars.
Hey, and I bet there's a few that have switched that over to a little bit of heat. It's gotten cool at night. So, you're working that unit, Faith, back and forth, and that puts a little strain on it. If you got an old unit, it could crap out on you at any time. So you just need to go ahead and call Cincy-Green. They'll take care of it for you. You don't have to worry about it. Scout Program Management, a full construction management firm in Birmingham, Alabama. Man, watching these guys work and seeing what they've done with these massive school projects that they've had, multi-million-dollar projects that they've handled from start to finish, and holding contractors accountable, making sure the schools get exactly what they have, bought into there, and make sure the product's tip top. And of course, municipalities as well. If you're city, state, local government, whatever, they handle massive projects there. So call them Scout Program Management in Birmingham. You will not be sorry that you did. I promise you. You'll only be sorry if you don't.
And Bunkers in downtown Auburn. It is such a great environment. If you want to go and watch the game there tomorrow or over the weekend and watch some of the other football games that are going to be played, Bunkers is going to be the place for you to go. They've got several TVs all around the place, and great food, great happy hour deals. And I mean, seriously, the environment there is just so awesome. And so they've got 50 parking spaces downtown in the parking garage. And that's super, super clutch when it comes to parking downtown.
Yeah. I mean, you can't put a price on parking downtown Auburn. I'm telling you right now, that's so convenient. They make it so convenient for you to go and have a good time. I mean, what else do you want? Glenn said for us to enjoy our trip and go Cats tonight. We'll see. Yeah, we got a football game tonight. We're going to look at that. Jerome said Auburn wins 34-24. Make sure you put the tiebreaker yards for Jackson Arnold passing yards, right, Faith?
Yes. And also at the end of the podcast, when we are no longer live, for you to comment that, because it goes away, or just DM us on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, there you go. So get your message in, get your prediction in. We got a lot of cool stuff to give away. Don't want to miss out. Glenn said if we were heading to Austin, Texas, he could hook us up. And unfortunately, we're not going to be going to Austin, Texas. We'll be going to Dallas, and then Dallas to Waco. So, man, here goes the next 48 hours for us. It's going to be a whirlwind. Kelly said, ready for Labor Day football trifecta, Wildcats, Tigers, and Noles. A little shot there for the Florida State Seminoles as they open up with the Alabama Crimson Tide. Tony said any Buc-ee stops for us. That's the home of Buc-ee's out in Texas. Well, we have to stop a good bit when Faith and I travel. I won't say why. So there, and of course, Buc-ee's would be a prime place, Faith, wouldn't it be, for us to stop if we see one?
Yeah, Maddie made it known that Buc-ee's home space is in Texas. So we ended up finding that out. So maybe we'll have to stop and see if it's any different from the one in Auburn.
Yeah, we got to find us a Buc-ee's along. I'm sure there's one from Dallas to Waco on the interstate. I'm sure.
Probably.
Glenn said, "Hey, you got to hit the switch." Yes, I got to turn it on. It's time. And then Wesley, it pains me, but I'll read your comment too. Let's go Clay Central Vols. I won't be saying that. You can say that, but I won't be saying that. So maybe every other game the rest of the year for y'all, I'll say that, but I'm not saying it tonight. You know I can't say that. I mean, I got my, you know where I'm at. Look at there. So we're already spoiled. We're already in game day mode here for Benjamin Russell. So, but we appreciate you, Wesley, and good luck to the team tonight. It's gonna be a good game. All right, Faith. A lot to prove. We talked about Auburn. We talked about Hugh Freeze. I'm going down the list. Next up for me is Jackson Arnold. Nobody has more to prove on the field than Jackson Arnold. I mean, coming out of high school, going to Oklahoma, doing the things that he did, and then last year getting benched, and then coming back, finishing the season, getting in the portal. Everybody's like, okay, is this guy still got it? Can he come through? Nobody's got more to prove. Would you agree with me on that?
Oh, 100%. I mean, he in practice hasn't proven too much. Is that fair to say?
I think that's very fair to say. Yes. He's been, again, and I think our good buddy Kyle Rush, who we did a pre-tape show for tomorrow last night, so everybody will have some, because you and I'll be flying out at that time tomorrow. But he talked about it. I mean, you know, Jackson Arnold is he's got the opportunity to prove a lot of people wrong. I mean, he does. I mean, you think about the things that he's done in practice. He hasn't turned the ball over, and that's what Kyle was talking about. No turnovers in practice, but really nothing dynamic that we've. And I said this the other day, I think, Faith, I think it was you and I said, I think Auburn fans have just been wanting us to come on the air and go, man, Jackson Arnold torched everybody. He's definitely the guy. He threw 3 touchdown passes. Whatever. And we haven't been able to say that. So there's just a lot of unknown. This doesn't mean that he's not good. It's just that, okay, maybe he's been a little bit more conservative than we would like for him to be. And again, you can't tell with an RPO style running quarterback when you're in scrimmages, when the coaches are blowing the play dead, you know, right when he gets outside the pocket. So, and Coach Freeze even said, look, there's a lot of times we go back on film and go, okay, yeah, that would have been a good play, but we blew it dead. I would have liked to have seen how it ended. So we'll see. I mean, there's just, again, goes to the point of why I've got it on the bottom of the screen. He's just got to go out and prove it now to everybody.
We got a comment the other day that was like, for an Auburn podcast, you guys sure are negative or something like that, or you sure don't believe in Auburn. And it would be a lie if we came on here saying that we saw at practice
right
a completely different team. I mean, we talk about the defense and how much of an impact they're going to be able to have this year, but when it comes to the offense and it comes to the quarterback position, we have seen, you know, just some.
Well, nobody wants to pump sunshine more than us. I mean, we do this every day, but how stupid would you and I look if we came on here and go, oh, yeah, man, Auburn by 40. I mean, Auburn's about to go 14-0. They ain't nobody stopping. Now, I know we ain't won a game. We haven't had a winning season in the last 4 years, but dang, forget that. We're Auburn Blitz, and we're going to tell everybody what they want to hear. And then you get out here, and then Auburn lays an egg, and then go, well, they're a bunch of idiots. What are they watching? So, yeah, I mean, it's not negative, and I think you bring up that comment to say that, I mean, we're just telling everybody what we see, and we can't predict the future. We hope that things are great tomorrow night, but we don't know, and Auburn doesn't know, and Baylor doesn't know. That's why you play the game on the field. Are we better on paper? Yeah, we are. I can confidently say that. We're better on paper. We're 8th in the blue chip ratings. I mean, the teams that are up there with us are Texas, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, the likes of those, and then we're right there with them. So, yeah, are we better than Baylor on paper? Yes, we are. But we've been better than on paper than a lot of teams the last 4 years, and we ain't won the game. Okay? So I don't know how much more real I can be. Faith, you want to add something to that? You feel free.
No, I mean, John brings up a good point with Auburn having an improved quarterback. They should by far have a better season than they've had in the past. And again, we'll go into it a little bit more tomorrow. But yeah, when it does come to turnovers and things like that, I mean, how many interceptions did Peyton Thorne throw last year?
I think he threw, I mean, in the Cal game and then the Arkansas game. I know he didn't start the Arkansas game. But Hank Brown made up for his interceptions because he threw a couple.
Even with just that, I think, yeah, if we can at least hold off on that, and we can hold off on, even the running backs being able to hold on to the ball when they go down, that's going to make such a difference in the overall, we talked about how hard it is to get into the red zone, even just going and getting there, or even just not even going 3 and out. It's just been so difficult to watch and even more difficult to keep talking about.
I'm going to give you the floor on the next two. Okay. I'm going to let you run with these because I think you know as much about these as I do or anybody else because you've been in practice more than I have. The offensive line. I'm going to let you take it. I mean, when we're talking about a lot to prove, who's got more to prove than the offensive line?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've got all the talent that they should be able to and be improved from last year, and the depth because, they had a last year a time when, somebody got injured. So we're moving and shifting positions and how much that affects the dynamic and, just being thrown into that situation. So now this year it's okay. You got one guy that goes down. We've got somebody to replace him in that exact same position. So that's going to be something that helps a lot. But, we've seen, I don't think we've seen as much of a intense side of them like we do see on the defensive line. And I mean, those are just two easy comparisons right there. But, if they can hold and give Jackson Arnold some time, I mean, he doesn't need that much time to go and drop back because he's not very confident when it comes to doing that. But if they can just take care of him before him getting sacked or, throwing the ball away or something like that, that'll be something that honestly has not been something that our offensive line has been able to do in the past.
Right. I mean, and that's why I bring them up. I mean, so talking about groups that have something to prove, offensive line, yeah, all the height, most experienced group, blah, 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 right? Go prove it. Go dominate the line of scrimmage against Baylor, against a defense that was horrible. Look, let's don't spin this any other way. Baylor's defense was terrible last year. And, yeah, they went out and got some guys to kind of make up for it in the portal. But, I mean, Faith, they didn't wave a magic wand and become an elite defense overnight. Right. And this is the first game, and you're going up against a group that's experienced. We talk about Baylor's group and their offense, how experienced they are, and going into that, well, our offensive line has as much experience as theirs. When it comes now, maybe collectively playing together, it doesn't, but games played, star ratings, all that blah, blah stuff. I mean, we're right there with them, if not better. Okay. A couple more real quick. Running backs. Running backs have so much to prove. I mean, none of them have started really. I mean, Damari Alston's got the most. Darrell Robinson has a lot of carries, but they weren't at Auburn. They were at UConn. And then Jeremiah Cobb, I think, let me look. Jeremiah Cobb had 29 rushing attempts last year. And Damari Alston had 52. Now, again, we had the best running back in the league, which obviously limited what they could do. But Darrell Robinson had 107 rushing attempts, but it was all at UConn. He had 731 yards. Damari had like 236, and or 276 rather, and Jeremiah had 142. So we don't really know what these guys can do when it's all on their back. When they are the guy, there is no Jarquez Hunter coming off and spilling them. I mean, is Damari up for 25 carries in this game? Can he tote the football that many times and be productive and not put it on the ground? I mean, a lot to prove with the running backs, right?
Yeah, and again, that just comes from, like what you said, having Jarquez Hunter last year. But we've seen with Damari Alston, we've seen just the way that he runs and the way that he goes laterally, the way he thinks he's faster than everybody to just hopefully beat him out. And that doesn't get you anywhere when you make it to the line of scrimmage and now you're just running left and right. It's about going and moving forward. And every time he went down with the ball last year, you kind of held on to something thinking, oh, please hold on to the ball. When you go down, you don't drop it, because that was something that it was always a very, very perfect timing for those things to happen last year. But yeah, I think, I don't know who was saying it, but Jeremiah Cobb might really have some good runs this year.
Yeah. I think Coach Freeze is the one that is saying he expects him to have a breakout season.
Yeah. Was it him? I mean,
yeah. I think Coach Freeze said, look, I expect Jeremiah Cobb to have a breakout season. And, I think from what we've talked to him about and some of his former coaches in high school,
yeah,
the expectations there, and he's ready. I mean, Jeremiah's told us, he's like,
Yeah.
man, I'm about to bust at the seams to show everybody like what's coming this year. So, okay. And I've got one real quick. The defense, yes, still has something to prove, because yeah, they were good last year. Can they take that next step to being elite? And they only caused 13 turnovers, Faith. So again, solid defense, but weren't very opportunistic. And you got to figure out how to turn the football over. And we did it the opposite way last year. We were the ones turning the ball over. And so we got to get a little bit better on defense. We got to steal some possessions. So I think we're going to have some opportunities Friday night to steal some possessions. And if we can take care of the football ourselves and not make any bad decisions, and if our running backs can hold on to the football, I think Auburn will be in grandiose shape. No Jabba. Yeah, Wade, I hear you. We don't want any Jabbas. No Jabba going on. We want to start off. We want to eliminate Jabba and move on to a new era of Auburn football. So, all right, Faye, let's talk about some more of our partners here on the program. Old Number One Customs.
Well, aren't they in your house?
They are in my house, and they are probably, I would say, if I had put a percentage on it, maybe 60% done. The tile is about to start, so you're really about to start seeing things take shape. So if you need a custom bathroom remodel, bedroom, kitchen, whatever, outdoor living space, because, man, being outside right now gives you a little bit of touch of this fall. And can't you envision yourself in October, November, sitting out in an outdoor living space lit up with a fire and, some music playing and just kind of chilling out? And, man, just be great. If you want that, call Old Number One Customs. They can help you with it. 334-752-6162.
JFA Blue Plumbing, why don't you go ahead and have filtered water throughout your whole entire house with the Home Atlas Water Filter Duo installed with JFA Blue Plumbing for just $15.99. It's so important when it comes to the water that you're drinking, showering in, your pets, your kids, everything. Out of every single faucet in your house, you're going to have filtered water, and that's so, so important for your internal and external health. So call on them at 844-JFA-BLUE. Oliver Ross. If you've got a party of 20 or a party of 20,000, if you've got a tailgate on Friday night, whatever it is, Oliver Ross is going to be the bartending service for you. And with that, they're going to be able to make sure that you have a great time and your guests have a great time while you can focus on the entertainment or whatever it is that, you're focusing on. Oliver Ross is going to come in there, set all their stuff up, and then break it down and be done and out of your hair when they're done. So come on, we've got so many fun events coming up in Auburn, so just call on them.
Absolutely. Don't wait. I mean, don't be looking across at somebody else's tailgate and they go, well, we chose Oliver Ross and you didn't, and yours sucks and ours don't. So don't be that. Don't be that person. Don't be that group. So and everybody at your tailgate's going, man, they're having a lot more fun over there than we're having. We got a bunch of junk over here and they've got all the premium stuff. So go check out Oliver Ross on Instagram. Okay, Faith, tomorrow, heading out to Waco. And when we get there, we get to Waco, we're going to mingle around with some fans, talk to some fans. We'll do a little feel. We'll put that out for everybody, kind of see what everybody's, judge their temperature on the game a little bit. And I'm sure we'll be seeing some good tailgate, maybe run into some Baylor fans and see what they're tailgating and stuff. So we'll do a little mingling, do some live before the game, and then we'll head into the game, and hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. And Auburn will get off to a 1-0 start, and then we'll head into the press conference. And after we leave, then Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine post-game show live from Waco, Texas, will be a live reaction show each and every post-game every week. But our first one coming to you from Waco, Texas. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Excited to go out there and just kind of see the atmosphere. And, first game of the year, everyone's excited. So just got to go out there and get a win.
That's it. Let's got to go get a win. We can't play. Auburn can play. They've got to get a win, and we'll be there for it. And we'll report it and get ready for all your great comments coming in about how well Auburn played after this game. That's what I'm looking forward to more than anything. All right, Faith, tonight we have the Wildcats and the Vols in Alexander City, game of the week. Going to be a record craft game, sold out. That's what I was just told. So, again, not surprised. There's going to be a lot of standing again. Going to be a lot of people at this football game with it being on a Thursday night. And so we're excited to bring it to you on our network, then FHS Wildcat Network, and then, of course, 97.5 FM Kalijah Country. You can hear it there. And we appreciate everybody that has subscribed to our channel here. If you have not done that, please go do that. And then make sure you hit the like button. All right. We have a recorded podcast for in the morning for everybody. Tune that in. Kyle Rush joins us on that podcast. Faith had a great time with Charlie Five, as he's called. But Kyle Rush, really, really good insight from him, and hopefully going to work him in more throughout the season with us some when he's available, and looking forward to it. But everybody make sure you tune in tomorrow morning. It is game day. It will be game day. So you got to tune us in. So, all right, Faith, you got anything else?
No, I don't. I hope everybody has the best day ever, though.
Absolutely. And as always, a big old
War Eagle.